talking about additional voluntary contributions. Saving for your retirement is an important part of your long-term financial planning, and in this video we'll be talking about additional voluntary contribution and how it affects your retirement. Simply put, AVC is a valuable choice for retirement. Let's face it, when you retire, you want your standard of living to be just as good as it is when earning income, so you can have more money at retirement. With AVC, you can retire earlier than you plan to or earlier than the statutory age. Additional voluntary contribution is the payment made into your retirement savings account that exceeds the amount your employer makes. Now, AVC is non-obligatory contribution and it is made by eligible contributors through their employer. So you cannot remit AVC on your own. It has to be from an employer. Now, this is how it works. If you're an active contributor, that is, if you have not retired, then you can make additional contribution through your employer. All you need to do is write to your employer that you want a certain amount of money to be paid into your retirement savings account from your gross salary. Now, for people that are retired, that is people that are already on monthly pension, they are retirees. If by chance they get another job, contract, or whatever employment, whatever remittance is coming into their account is VC. So what happens after the contract expires or they leave the job is that this additional voluntary contribution can either be used to enhance their monthly pension, or they decide to claim all of the money, but subject to tax. Like the statutory contribution, where the employer makes 10% of your gross salary and the employee makes 8% of the gross salary, this is non-obligatory. It is a matter of choice, but this video is to encourage us that it is better to start now than than later. I think it's one of the best things to do because it helps your balance at retirement to be more. You have access to more money. And the interesting thing about additional voluntary contribution is you're not going to pay tax. There is tax relief. It's before your income tax, so it's wonderful. It's something we all should consider. So aside from your retirement savings account, aside from the statutory amount that we contribute, you can also make that voluntary contribution, and it's a step closer to planning for a beautiful retirement. Who are eligible for additional voluntary contributions? Number one, an employee in an organization with 3 or more employee who is making mandatory contribution under the contributory scheme. So if you're an employee that is working with an employer that has more than 3 employees, then you can make additional voluntary contribution. A foreigner residing in the country and working in a formal sector in Nigeria, we all know that they are expatriates, that people who come from out of Nigeria to work here in Nigeria. So far, they have their international passports, all the necessary documents. They're entitled to pension in Nigeria. So such people, when they are leaving the country, their remittance, their contribution is treated as additional voluntary contribution because they have access to all of this money. Now, another set of people who have access, who are eligible for additional voluntary contributions, are any retiree under the defined benefit scheme who secures another contract employment. We all know that there was at some point, like a few years ago, there was defined benefit scheme. I could talk about that later. But if you are under defined benefit scheme and you want to make additional voluntary contribution, then you are eligible to make such contribution. Now, another set of people are any person appointed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You are elected as an officer to hold an office in any for any stipulated tenure, and you are not a career civil servant. If you are not a career civil servant, but you have an office for a particular period of time, then you can make additional voluntary contribution. But the whole gist is that I'm sure there are a lot of young people watching this video right now. So far, you have a retirement savings account, so far you are under the contributory scheme, you can make additional voluntary contribution. Voluntary contribution can only be made in Nigerian currency, which is naira, and it must be remitted through an employer. I've heard so many people ask me that, can I make contribution as a business owner? I don't want to be linked to any employer, I just want to be paying into my pension. No, you can't. But my darling, so far you are under an employer, all you need to do is just write a letter stating your intention to make VC and the amount that you want them to deduct from your emolument. That's all. So this is an opportunity for us to save more for retirement. We do not have an excuse, right guys? The good thing about additional voluntary contribution is that for funds that have stayed for 2 years, yes, you heard that right, you can have access to it. It's a vital choice to start early. The earlier you get into your pension scheme, the better you get at retirement. So don't leave your retirement to chance. I think we all should embrace additional voluntary contribution now. It does not matter the amount, even if it's as small as 5,000 naira, you can just start, paying into your retirement account. You guys should drop comments in the comment section if you like to do additional voluntary contribution, and if you still have more questions, please drop them. Let's talk about them. If there is anything bothering your mind about this whole retirement, pension and everything, please drop your comments in the comment section and let's treat them, guys. So I'm signing out today. See you guys next time on another episode of Pension Matters with AY. Remember that if you are enjoying this series, make sure you like this video, subscribe and share with your friends. Someone might need to see this. Yes, this video might be for someone, so ensure you share. See you guys next time. I love you guys. Bye.